Hello, Aries. Welcome to your November 2022 tarot card reading and astrological horoscope. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Jane, just to quickly introduce myself. So we are moving officially into November of 2022. October was an incredibly eventful month, and now that we are making a transition into November, after the eclipse on November 8th, things should start to sort of subside a little bit. Now for these readings, like we did last month, I have two different segments. The first segment is going to be a tarot card reading, which is purely intuitive, and the second segment is going to be an astrological horoscope. Thank you all so much for the amazing feedback that I received last month on those as well. And some people like to watch the astrology portion first. So if that's you, then you can absolutely click on that timestamp down below, and then you can go back and watch the tarot card portion after if you prefer. Now, you can watch these readings for your sun, moon, or rising sign, although just know that the rising sign is going to be a little bit more accurate in terms of all the house placements of the transits. Timestamps for each segment will be found in the description box and the comment thread down below for easy access. And also down below in the description box and comment thread, there will be information regarding how to access the comprehensive readings. So let's go ahead and get into this for the month. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you in just a sec. Hello, Aries. Welcome to your tarot card reading for November 2022. So let's go ahead and get started with a really intuitive message with a really intuitive deck. So on these cards, there are only little squigglies, lines, and dots. We'll get to the normal cards in just a minute, but I wanted to start off with more of a channel. So let's see here for Aries. Okay, things seem to be, the word I want to use is winding, or the words rather, is winding up. And maybe there has been a pool of confusion or frustration, or there's been a lot of like roundabout kind of things going on. And maybe it's been very difficult for you to really sink your hooks into something substantial. But I think the number of options and everything that's pulling you away from the main priority and the main goal is starting to, it's starting to narrow in. I'm definitely seeing like a funnel. Things are funneling in and everything is starting to get more streamlined. And this is in part because of your own determination, right? The own internal desire to streamline your life and whatever area of focus is important for you. Maybe some of you are more concerned about finances and career. Others of you may be more concerned about money. So whatever the case may be, it's starting to tighten up. And wherever there has been like this loose, like I'm getting like loosey-goosey, kind of no structure. It's starting to kind of swivel in and become a little bit more purposeful and more intentional. And you're starting to get on top of the things that maybe have buried you under for far too long. I'm also kind of seeing, I'm seeing the energy of other people and you being very confused about them, you looking at other people or talking to someone else and being like, I don't even understand what you're saying. And this may have a lot to do with the fact that Mars is now officially going retrograde in Gemini. I just keep hearing the word gibberish. Like there's just a whole bunch of gibberish out there. And it's going to be so important, Aries, for you to keep your focus and to not get too emotionally involved in anything that really just does not have anything to do with you. Because I think people are going to try to pull you in, but your boundaries and your standards and your ability to make it very clear, like this is the line, that is going to be something that will be a huge asset. I'm also seeing an increase in your energy levels as well. So maybe you're going to start implementing a more, I think many Aries, they do like to move their body a lot. That's the essence of Aries. So exercise, very, very important for Aries to go through. But you may be implementing a new kind of a regimen or a new process or something like that, which will help your energy levels. And with higher energy levels, the likelihood of you achieving your goals are going to be that much higher. I think energy and boundaries really are your greatest asset right now. Okay. So this particular card signifies what the universe needs from you. And I love the sun in any context. There's always so much brilliance. There's divinity. There's this kind of unfiltered authenticity. And I don't want to tell Aries that they're going to have to be any kind of certain way. It's more just in a moment to moment basis. Like, this is who I am. This is what I'm bringing to the table. This is what I want. This is what I'm going after. And there's nothing behind the scenes at all. It's all just very available to pretty much, first of all, yourself and anybody else. And I see you having that element of pride and that sense of dignity in what you're doing. And as things start going from that loosey-goosey kind of energy and getting tightened up and streamlining, you're going to feel a greater sense of honor, and you're going to feel a greater sense of direction and dignity. And you're going to, I think, really start to feel things coming together in a way that you've really been craving for a long time. The sun, the universe needing your sun energy. It needs your light. It needs your laughter. It needs your playfulness, but it also needs your determination. You know, it needs your determination to shine and to create and to be a source of goodness in the world. So now what does the environment look like for Aries? What's going on in the environment for Aries for November 2022? King of Coins. So you may be dealing, there really could be a lot of financial themes for you right now, because with Scorpio season, we have a lot of 8th house activation. We've got Venus in there, Mercury in there. We've got the sun. We've got, well, we had an eclipse on October 25th. And you may be dealing with your own money, but more probable is other people's money. So it could be a spouse's money or a business partner, or if a parent loaned you money, or any kind of a mortgage or a loan or anything like that. But I see a good relationship here, and I see working with other people. I got a bug in here. Sorry. I see you working with other people's resources being a really good thing. Okay. Being something that is advantageous for you and your ventures of choice. It's something that actually can help you streamline your life. Now, if you are in a partnership, now not everyone is, and that's fine, but if you are in a partnership, it is likely that your partner is going to be focusing on something very important to them, and you may need to come in as a more supportive role. And by doing so, it actually will help you in your own individual interests get ahead as well. So there's a kind of a dual advantage to being supportive. All right, let's start pulling out the tarot cards here. The Fool. Oh, I just love the Fool when it comes out with the sun, because it gives me so much, there's just so much open-heartedness, and there's a lot of hope, and there's just this, I don't know, there's just like this willingness to embrace life, and it doesn't seem to be clouded by so much fear and insecurity and all those things that always hinder us all the time. You know, there's just this openness and this willingness to charge forward. And I think that's what Aries is really starting to grasp, and they're starting to understand that that is something that you can call upon. Oh, Queen of Wands, I love it even more. That's the Aries card. It's something that you can call upon and that you can actually bring forward within yourself. And death. Well, death is to be expected. We are in Scorpio season as we make our way into November, so that's no surprise. We do have that new moon eclipse on October 25th. And death, you know, death really is, it is about things ending, but of course, it is also about things beginning, right? Beginning and an end. And death truly is, for some reason, I'm feeling like the ending is welcome. The ending of this loosey-goosey, swirly, unpredictable, left, right, up, down, all around kind of energy. I think Aries is really, really, really looking for that kind of straight and narrow. They're looking for something that can guide them forward faster, right? So they can get to where they want to be faster and with fewer obstacles and with using what they already know, using the life that they've already lived, being able to really leverage yourself. I think the universe is opening something up for you. And this may have been something that's been in the works for quite some time energetically that maybe you forgot about. It's like you may have started a manifestation a while back. That mosquito is not going anywhere. You may have started a manifestation a while back, but now it's actually starting to come to fruition. And what you've been asking for, this more direct life, this more direct call to action, this more direct purpose, it is starting to reveal itself. Because maybe with all the 2020 stuff, 2018, 2019, 2020, somewhere around there, maybe during that period of time with Saturn in your 10th house, there was a lot of difficulty with what it is you wanted to contribute, what it is you wanted to contribute and what you wanted to get in return. And so now a lot of that confusion is clearing up. And there's an alignment with your passion and your creativity, with your warm and friendly personality. There's an alignment with your sense of joy. Okay, what else for Aries? What else does Aries need to know for November 2022? We have the Eight of Swords. So we have the Two of Coins, the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Coins. Okay. For some reason, I am feeling like this month is going to be a little bit softer for Aries. Now, I'm not saying that there's not going to be volatility because, yes, as we make our way toward this full moon eclipse on November 8th, which is conjunct Uranus, which is also in a square with Saturn and in a T-square with Venus over in Scorpio. So it's a kind of a difficult configuration that we have going on for that full moon. But after that, I think things are going to start to balance out as we see with this Two of Coins. I think most of the upheaval, if you were to experience any, most of the upheaval will happen in the first week of November. And then things start to balance out and things start to make sense. And your own sort of mental trappings start to make sense as well. And you start to become extraordinarily clear. I'm really drawn toward the blindfold that the artist chose to put on this Fool here. The blindfold that matches the blindfold here. There has been something that you haven't been willing or ready to really look at. Or you didn't know that it was even there to look at it in the first place. So you are becoming more aware through this Scorpio season, through this transformative process. Things will be illuminated and you're going to start to really understand why it has been so hard to streamline, why it has been so hard to systematize, why has it been so challenging to get yourself to where you want to be and get the results that you want to get. And because of this clarity that you're likely to attain, you're going to start going to work. Now, this other person, now again, this may be a spouse or a lover or a business partner or someone else that you do have. For some reason, I am feeling that there are financial ties because he is the King of Coins. It is Scorpio season. We do have Venus in Scorpio, right? So I do think financial ties to this person is an important factor. And one of the reasons why I think they're prominent right now is because maybe there's been a little bit of reliance on them, or they've relied on you, vice versa, whatever the case may be, where again, their financial world is being illuminated and your financial world in a mirror image of that. And it's inspiring you to get to work. It's inspiring you to put your head down and be productive. Now, Mars in Gemini for the past couple months has been a challenging transit for a lot of people because Mars in a Mercury sign, it's really chaotic. It's all over the place. Mercury is not, especially in Gemini and Virgo, it's a little bit less so, but Mercury is not really about results. He's about collecting and understanding and getting a lot of information and going out and meeting people and networking and doing all these transactions and all, but he's not really a big picture type of guy, right? He's not like a Jupiter, which is all about the higher level philosophy and higher level perspective of everything. And so maybe we've just been a little bit too drawn into the kind of busy workings and the day-to-day things of life. And now that Mercury is going retrograde, a lot of that energy will likely subside in the external world. Now, there may be a little bit of internalization, but I think that's going to give you a lot of energy, which is one of the things that I said here. It's a lot of internal and cerebral energy to execute on a lot of these strategies that you're developing. And with the Eight of Coins, there's a lot of not just productivity, but it's like the end product, whatever that means. The end product is something solid and profitable. You know, that there's money on the other end of it. It's like the difference between, let's say, like a lawyer who's working at a clinic, who maybe is not the most talented lawyer, maybe struggled, didn't get the best grades in law school. That was the only job they could get. And now they have to kind of do a lot of this pro bono type of stuff in a nonprofit arena versus someone who goes and works at the top of the top tier, you know, New York, LA, Chicago, San Francisco law firms, right? This is one of the people working at those huge law firms making a ton of money because they are so good at what they do. That's what this is. And when you do what you do, you get paid for it. You get recognized. You get noticed. You get referrals. You get all of the things that you're really needing to get. And that will benefit everybody involved. Your success, your productivity benefits you and them. And with the Eight of Swords, again, it's like this illumination of the thing that you never saw. You never saw that you know, mental mindset was still there. You never saw that trauma was affecting you. You never saw that you were still perpetuating some kind of a pattern. And now you see. Now you see, and you get to bust through that boundary. See, we've got the Knight of Coins. We have the Ten of Cups. I love the Ten of Cups. There's a lot of happiness in this reading. This is all for the better. And the High Priestess. High Priestess is that I am really feeling a mirror quality coming from that High Priestess. That if you are intuitively open, you will be receiving a lot of information, right? Mars retrograde, he kind of internalizes. And because he's in Gemini, this means information. So there's going to be a lot of information that you can internalize and utilize to create this Ten of Cups, happy world, happy life. And the Knight of Coins matches the Eight of Coins beautifully because this is that work ethic. This is putting your head into, like getting in the grind is what I'm hearing, getting in the grind. You know what needs to be done. You know what tasks need to be accomplished. You know what emails need to be sent. You know what text messages and phone calls, and you know where you need to go. You already know all of that. And now it's just a matter of getting out of your own way and actually doing it. I think Aries that deny themselves, right? It's like when you know what you need to do and you're purposefully not doing it, therefore, doing that whole self-sabotage thing, there can be so much anger directed at the self and so much shame that is directed toward the self. And I think a lot of people will experience that, unfortunately, but you don't have to. This is an astrological environment that is going to separate the people who are prepared for the next chapter in their life and that are prepared for success and abundance, and the people who are not prepared. This is you showing up. And I think actions, and I've been talking so much about actions the past several months, really since Leo season, because it is so crucial to know that this is a time astrologically when action is a big part of the manifestation process. I think we give a little too much weight to energy alignment, which is great and that's wonderful. But now we got to do we got to do the more physical side of this. And, to have your head in the game like this. So I think one of the things too that I'm really wanting to say, like if there are any distractions, remember what I was saying, there's like gibberish out there. If there are any distractions or if there are any people that are trying to pull you into something that you just really don't think is right for you, please do everything you can to not do it. I think your gut with the High Priestess is super on point. There is no need for you to ever question that right now. You shouldn't be questioning it. You shouldn't be doubting yourself, and you shouldn't be succumbing to peer pressure. All right? Keeping your head in the game is a win for Aries. Alrighty, so I am going to pull out the clarifiers now. So we're going to continue this reading in the comprehensive session that I'm doing. It's going to be another 25 to 30 minutes or so. And all the information will be found in the description box in the comment thread down below. There's a lot there, so just choose the option that's right for you, okay? So let's go ahead and pull out these clarifiers. Let's clarify the sun for Aries for November 2022. What does Aries need to know here? Page of Swords, excuse me. Five of Cups reversed. An Ace of Coins reversed. Okay. In the environment, we have the Three of Swords for Aries. Three of Cups reversed. And the Magician. Okay. So let's get started with the Fool. What else does Aries need to know about the Fool card? Nine of Cups. Page of Wands, another Page of Swords. Beautiful. Loving the pages for that Fool energy. It's going to feel really good. I actually think Aries is going to feel really good with these eclipses because Uranus does tend to like supercharge us a lot. He's electric, you know. It's a very electric time. Okay, King of Swords reversed. Getting a really grumpy vibe from that King of Swords. He doesn't really seem to want to be the one to play the game. So then we have Death, Five of Coins, Seven of Wands. Ace of Coins, another Ace of Coins reversed. 10 of Coins reversed. Some reason that 10 of Coins just feeling a little out of reach. Yeah, exactly. 10 of Swords. 2 of Swords. Now for the 8 of Swords. Definitely that bottom one. Another High Priestess. High Priestess is your best friend this month. She is going to be helping you to process and to understand and to work through a lot of the internal things that's going on. 4 of Wands. 5 of Swords reversed. King of Wands. For Aries for November 2022. 4 of Coins. Ooh, beautiful. A Wheel of Fortune. And then we have a 2 of Wands on top of that, Knight of Coins. 3 of Cups. 7 of Coins. Judgment. Major breakthroughs for Aries this month. There's not a doubt in my mind. Knight of Wands. 6 of Wands. Now for the High Priestess. Ace of Cups reversed. The Star, beautiful. And 9 of Swords. Okay, so this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So again, all that information will be found in the description box in the comment thread down below. So if you want to join me, go ahead and go down there, and I hope to see you. And if not, I will see you next month. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Aries. Welcome to the Astrological Horoscope portion for the November 2022 readings. So let's go ahead and delve right in here. Now, I have this clock set for November 1st, but last week of October, we had a lot of stuff happen. We had the new moon eclipse at 2 degrees of Scorpio. We had Jupiter coming back into Pisces. Mercury came into Scorpio, and we had Mars retrograde officially beginning. Okay, so there was a lot. That new moon eclipse in Scorpio happening in your 8th house, incredibly powerful. And because I love doing readings for Aries, specifically Aries risings, because how everything aligns so perfectly. You kind of get like this double whammy of the archetype, right? So when Scorpio stuff goes on in the 8th house, it's like really scorpionic, you know? So yes, there's a lot of elimination. Something is going to have to die off. It's usually, now there's a lot of shared resources that happen here. So there could be something going on with a spouse if you have one. It could be something with money or something like that. But if it's not, I don't know. I feel like Aries is, they're putting themselves in a position where they don't have a choice but to be incredibly independent. Not like you weren't already, but it's almost as though I see you cutting off reliance on someone or something. And you're doing that for your own sake. Right? You're doing that for the sake of your growth, for the sake of your progress, and for the sake of your ultimate success. Because maybe you're worried about being too dependent on something. Now, this is not like unhealthy, trauma-based independence where you reject help from everybody. It's not like that. It's just you want to put yourself in a position where if something goes wrong with someone else, you are not in a lurch. right? So maybe you are setting up like your own life insurance policies, or you are setting up your own financial plan. Maybe you are setting up retirement, situations or investment accounts or something, like whatever that is. Maybe you are setting yourself up for success independently for that. Now, the reason why independence is so important is because Taurus is involved with the full moon eclipse, which is happening on November 8th. And that full moon is happening exactly conjunct Uranus as well. So that full moon, there's like so much attention on that full moon, specifically in the United States, the same day as the election. I can't even begin to predict what may happen because Uranus is so volatile. Oh, got something on my arm there. Uranus is so volatile and so unpredictable. It's like anyone's guess with that. But that's why self-reliance is so important, because while the new moon is here, it is a destructive new moon, meaning you are destroying your reliance upon shared resources or reliance upon another person. And you're stepping into, with that full moon, a little bit more autonomy, and it could likely be financial. All right. You're ensuring that financially you and potentially your children will be taken care of regardless of what happens. That may be especially relevant for people who are in difficult relationships or challenging business partnerships as well. You may be planning some kind of an exit to a degree. All right. Now, there could also be, because it is a new moon still, there is still a seed being planted here. So you could be opening up the door for a better partnership or a better situation than the one that you're currently in. All right, so you could kind of go multiple ways there. But the sun with Venus and Mercury here, there is just a lot in terms of exchange, because Scorpio is so exchange oriented. There's so much flow that happens here with Scorpio. When it comes to romantic relationships, for those of you who are involved in romantic situations, this could be a time to really increase your intimacy, to take that level of connection to the next level, because Scorpio is all about that energetic entanglement, that love, that trust. Hopefully it's good, right? Hopefully you're in a good situation so you can actually enjoy that. If you're not in a good situation, it's likely that the lack of trust is going to be accentuated by that new moon eclipse, okay? When we hit this full moon on November 8th, now, I've been saying this word over and over. You guys know that every month a specific theme tends to emerge from my readings anyway. And I feel that this month the theme, because of this eclipse, is all about reform. And we get to make reform for you financially and in terms of our own sense of self-worth. Now, you have Chiron in Aries, which it has been for several years now, so that's not anything new. But this particular Chiron transit, I think, has made it very challenging for Aries to really know who they are and to define that more clearly and to... because Chiron exposes wounds, and it's possible, especially if you had overbearing parents, that you may have never truly developed a solid sense of identity in youth. Now, that won't be the case for everybody. I'm just saying that for those of you who may have had overbearing or extra dramatic or extra abusive parents, or whatever the case may be. Because if that identity was in any way, shape, or form sacrificed, this is a time when you're probably realizing, wow, I honestly, I know I have a personality, and I know I have preferences, and I know that I enjoy and don't enjoy certain things, but who am I really? And so by defining this sense of self, which can be a process, and I think Chiron is helping with that in a really beautiful way, but it takes time, it takes time to fully come into that idea. And because our sense of self-worth and our identity are so intrinsically linked, this eclipse is likely to come through and to say, hey, Aries, like, now is a time to really throw away any feelings of inferiority or any feelings of lack of worthiness or any feelings that you don't know who you are. I think that is also a fallacy. We all know who we are in our heart of hearts. We get lost sometimes because we project outward and we look at the world for that feedback. But we all really know that we are these incredibly divine spiritual beings having this incredibly beautiful earthly experience full of contrast, right? And so when you connect more deeply with the identity and the sense of worth, you can make major strides in the materialistic success of your life, because you're not holding back and you're not fearful and you're not questioning or doubting yourself. I think Chiron in Aries has had Aries doubting itself for a while, but now it's coming to a point where you're making this decision to know, I'm just not going to doubt myself, right? So you are reconceptualizing who you are and coming up with an identity that is much more helpful for you across the board, okay? Now, we also had Jupiter go back and forth between your 12th house and your rising or your first house, because, right, Jupiter came across on October 28th, and it's going to be going direct on November 23rd. So it's actually like really, really, really slow. It goes direct at 28 degrees. So it's only going to move like a couple of degrees here, and then it's going to come back into Aries. So it's doing a little back and forth here over your ascendant, which we love Jupiter energy. Jupiter is great. It can absolutely bring an incredible expansion of self. But I think when it retrograded in Aries, there was that, right, we take that Jupiter energy and we go inside, we go inward, and we start to, well, this is also helping with the identity thing, right? We start to kind of philosophize, if you will, about us and who we are, and we get to do a lot of reflection. So when it starts going direct, we have something to really build off of, and we have a more solid philosophy and a more solid approach and a more solid belief structure within us that can also help aid with this identity building, so that we can even become stronger. Because as Jupiter comes through Aries, he's going to move through Aries very quickly, and when he enters into Pisces, which is in May, right? So he's only going to be in Aries for like the first 5 months in 2023. And then he comes in May in Taurus, and there's going to be a substantial focus on your material world, your sense of self-reliance, which you're being prepared for right now. If you're cutting any ties, especially financially, like I said before, it's going to accentuate your self-reliance, and it's going to accentuate your feelings of worthiness. All right, so I'm really looking forward to this Jupiter transit for Aries specifically. I haven't talked a lot about Jupiter with a lot of the other signs, just simply because it's just kind of, it's not super strong, but it's not weak either. It's at a +5, so it's doing okay. It's in rulership right now, so it's doing its thing. But I think you are probably going to be the one sign that benefits the most. Well, the second, Jupiter, Taurus being the first. But House of Money, this is a really, really great place for Jupiter to be. So you're going to have an opportunity there to truly enhance your life in some of the greatest ways possible. All right. And we also have this Mars retrograde happening in your third house. If there are any issues with siblings, specifically your brothers, because Mars is deeply connected with the brother. If there are any issues with your social groups, your neighborhoods, it wouldn't be surprised. Mars in the third house can be a little bit of like a clumsy thinking energy. You know, it's like you may have to kind of clumsily fumble your way through certain thought processes in order to make certain connections with things. But he is really helping you ultimately to kind of come up with some kind of a strategy, although the development of that strategy may be a little bit haphazard at first. But as Mars makes its way, you know, later on next year, that plan, that strategy will be more and more precise. When it enters into Virgo next year, I think that's going to be the time when it really comes together. So allow yourself to be a little splayed out, a little disorganized if you need to be. That's perfectly acceptable. Allow yourself to fumble your way through certain ideas, because eventually all those ideas, they'll really hone in and you're going to have a super streamlined idea of a path that you're going to need to take in order to reach the success and the changes and whatever it is you're looking for. That path will guide you in the most beautiful way. Okay? All right, Aries, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much. You guys know I love you. Have an amazing month, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.